Hey everyone, welcome back to the stream, welcome to my channel, and welcome to another video. This is another video working on this guy here. This is our the F51 Mustang by Tamiya, 1/32 scale. So let's just get started, shall we? We got some more stuff to do, and we're working more on wings, right? What did we finish off last time? Last time we got our little landing gear in and our rudders in and everything, put those on. I did wind up putting a little bit of putty just in the seams there. Although it fit pretty good, I don't like the fact that that seam actually goes right through into nothing. So later on, when I'm doing panel lining on it, when you go to put the panel lining on, it's going to wind up basically the paint's just going to run into there and disappear on you. So I like to put some putty in there so the paint actually has a place to sit down in that little panel line, and that helps out a lot. So I like that, so I did that. Can't really see it, but it is what it is. Got landing gear, the rear one. It is just the rear. I have the closed version and, of course, the open version. Tamiya gives you both, so you can swap them out. And they just fit in like this, like that. There's the closed version done, just like that in there, finished. Okay, it fits nice and flush, and everything's perfect. So you can have this in your flight version. Now I've left the cover off of this one so that I can paint a lot easier and not have to worry about painting this later. This is essentially just going to go down over it like that, and once it's all painted, I'll put this together like that and glue it, and then it'll be like this. But basically this goes in the exact same way, just like that, and sits in just like so, and it's done. And this also sits nice and flush, and everything's perfect and lines up nicely. Thank you, Tamiya. That is really good. Yeah, so that's those are done, and these are done, and so that finishes off the last page, and so we're moving on. And so flipping the book over, we're going to start working on our main landing gear bay. Okay, that's going to be our thing. And I've got this all kind of pre-painted. I'll change the camera over so you can kind of see a little bit better close-up of what I'm working with here. And yeah, of course I got a new camera position for you guys, so hopefully you like it. Let's see here, boom, we got now a new camera position. I even have it so it's my right hand and my left hand properly and everything. Reposition my little pictures so that it's not blocking my work area for you guys. So here we are, you get to see my perspective on stuff. Okay, so working on this, as you guys can see, this is already pre-painted, okay? And as you can see, it's a little bit bright, but because of this, we got the very bright silver here, and then we've got the yellow chromate on all our lines, basically our vertical lines. And then we've got these. I did drill these holes out. I've seen that done a lot on the Mustangs, and so I did actually take my drill and I drilled those out, all these holes, and match that up. So this piece is ready to go. That's right here. So I've got a bunch of other things. I do have them all pre-painted. As you can see, I've pre-painted a lot of this stuff. This is off of our F tree and our J tree, a lot of this stuff. And so as you can see, I've got it all pre-painted on our trees here. Yeah, so basically that's what we're dealing with, and we're going to start assembling this little pod here. So putting this just aside, we'll start over here, and we're going to start with F14, not the airplane, but the part off of our F tree, number 14, this guy here. Now, I wasn't sure which side is actually going to be the inside and the outside, so I got both sides painted, right? Just in case. I had no idea. When I originally started painting this, I didn't know which it was going to be. which side was visible and which wasn't, so I just painted both sides just in case. And so, yeah. Alright, there's our F-14. Wouldn't Maverick be so proud? F-14. Okay, we got this guy. We got a few pieces to put on here. We got to grab J5. So where's J5? Off of our J tree. Number 5, right here, this guy here. We need 2, so to me it's nice enough to give us 2 J trees. So we need J5 off of both. And that's going to go on there. And then we go to F12. And then we've got a nut, a little nut, SB7 they're calling it. So first of all, let's get F12, and sorry, F11 and F12. So this is 12 here. So I'll just put him here, and then F11. I'll put him here. Okay. Now I need to grab my nuts. So finding my nuts is going to be fun because I've got my little rods, but where are the nuts? Where are my nuts? I don't remember having, here we go. My other little container of stuff. This is where I can find my tiny nuts. Oh yeah, they're small, little guys right there. Right there. Can barely even see them. My nuts are so small you can hardly see them. It's so unfortunate. Okay, so before I try shoving my nuts in the hole, let's make sure my nubs are clean. Wow, I got some really suggestive language today. Grabbing my nuts and putting them in the holes. Okay, so with this guy facing, you can see right in here, I'm going to put the nut right in there. Just like that. And then this guy, he's going to go like this, and then that's going to glue on here. But first I'm going to clean this up. Okay, so having it this way around, this is going to go like that. Doink. Okay. Just like that. Okay. Okay, so there's one. Now notice I did that, but I figured it's going to be easier than trying to do this because the nut might fall out, so I just left that like that. Grab this nut, put it in here. So. Then just like that. Okay, so those are on. Now we've got our J5s, that's these two guys, and they are going to go into this little slot here and on this side here like that. I want to give a shout out to, I believe his name was Stargazer. Left a comment on my last YouTube video. Very nice comment, asking people to recommend my channel. That's really nice. And yeah, he did mention I'm not professional. No, I'm not a professional. So I just love the hobby. I love building stuff. Okay, so this now is going to go across there with all of our little pegs going in these holes. So just like this. Once I get it so it actually sits, there we go. It will sit down flush. You just got to get your things to sit in the holes. Once you get them lined up, there. Now they sit nice and flush. This is nicely right against the bottom. And clearly now I know which side is not going to be shown. So I'm going to grab some thin set. And just run it along here. And that even latched in on there. That's really nice. So I'll just hold this down, put some glue in there. There we go. It's nice. To me, in their engineering, everything always fits so nicely. Don't really have to worry about it too much. It just fits. It just fits. So there we go. Okay, there's our, I guess that's our back wall. Okay, next, moving up over here, we've got our F-24 and F-22. Not the Raptor, but still an F. So here's F-24, and then I got F-22 here. Go. Okay. Now, like I said, similar with this wall here, I didn't know which side is going to be visible, which side I'm working on, so I painted both sides, just in case, right? So it looks like we're going to go like this. Now they're calling for it along here, they're telling me to paint this along top here silver. The same silver as this. So, but let's get this guy on here first. Now this little guy is basically just got a little cutout for him to slide in right there. And that ensures that you get it the right way around. There we go. Okay. So he's going to go on the front here, but it looks like we're going to do that last. First, we're going to get our vertical walls that go in along here. Okay. Sort of a combination off of our F tree and our J tree. We're going to be grabbing both. So let's just put this guy aside for now while that glue sets. Okay, and we'll work our way along. So we're going to start with F8. Okay, F8 is this guy. I imagine I'm going to have to do a little bit of touching up on on some tips and stuff like that as we go along. There's F8. Okay. And so he's going to sit like this, and he's going to be the first one and go in right here like that. So just make sure he's sitting down as far as it can. There we go. It should at least be flush right against the bottom there, right? Oh yeah, and they notch in on the back wall here too, these notches, so that make sure they're all lined up. This guy, I'm not sure if he's supposed to be right against that edge or not. I'm going to guess that it is. In any case, a little bit of thin right through there where it connects, and I'm going to push it against this wall here just in case it is supposed to, and then a little bit on our back wall there. Give that a second to dry. There we go. Okay, so that one's in. Next we've got J7. So we're actually going in kind of in order. 7, 6, J7, J6, and then F5. So we'll get 7 and 6. Those are the next two. So we'll get those on there. J7 and 6. And that's the 2 on here. There's 7. And 6. Okay. So again, these are facing up like this, right? This is up. And so this guy's going to go in right here. A bit of a push there. Oh, snapped in, just like that. Snap fit. And that old school snap fit. Okay, go under in here, little tabs in there. I don't think it's going to be necessary to put any glue right there on the tip, so I'm just going to leave that. Then we got number 6. You're next. Like so. You know, when I was first looking at the instructions for this and seeing that I actually have to put in the walls, I thought this was going to be a little bit difficult in getting these lined up and where they need to be, but you know, I should have known better that Tamiya is going to make sure this is as easy as possible. So that everything's lining up really nicely. Like that. Okay, next one. F5 and 3. We actually got 2 pieces for this particular row. F5 and F3. So it's going to be these 2 here. F3, F5. Okay. Now they do show a little thing here. I'll bring the instructions down. Right here they're showing that I need to cut a little piece off of F3 and then of course F4 for the other side. There's a little nub or something I'm supposed to take off on this guy here. looks like I already did take it off on here before I even started. So I'm not going to worry about it then. Okay, so this guy, he's going to go in right back here. Just like that. Okay. And then this guy is going to go in the front section. Right there. Just make sure he's tight to the floor. There we go. All right. Just like that. Okay. And that's one side done. So let's continue on. I'm going to go with the other side now, and I'm just going to continue in the same direction. So that's going to be F6 and F4. I might as well get F7 off of here, just so that I don't have to pick up the sprue. There we go. So that I'm done with my effing tree. Okay. It's this guy. It is a tight fit, especially of course if you're like me and you've put a bunch of paint on it. Makes it a tight fit. Now if you're the type of person who likes to assemble first and then paint, then obviously you're not really going to have any issues with it being tight, because you're not fighting with the paint like I always do. Which sometimes I put enough paint on there that it doesn't quite fit as nice as it's supposed to. But that's okay. Alright, those two are on. Next, we want J6 and then 7. J6 and J7. Let's do 6 first. And then 7. Go. And last one, F7. This guy here. Final piece. Go in. these last two were a little bit loose. I could get them actually to flop around in those two slots. This one, however, of course, just like the other side, is very tight, which is nice. Tight fit is good. And then just like this side, I'm going to push this one right up against here and add a little bit of glue and just hold it for a moment. And just hold it there to make sure it's butted up right against it. Excuse me. And then I'll put on F24 and we'll get that put together. Okay, there we go. So F24 is going to go in. They even have our little tubes that are sticking out, going to go in those holes, like so. And then our two little tabs on the side. I painted this one a long time ago, and I think I put it on kind of thick, so I'm just going to make sure and remove just a little bit of paint off of our tabs here, just to help it. Just to help the glue get in there and go in there. And it's going to go in, it's going to be butting up right against here. So I'm just going to make sure I've got all my primer off of there. And the silver, you know, I've done a lot of painting on this part. I got primer and I got silver and I got the yellow chromate. There's a lot of paint on this little piece here for such a small thing, you know. So I'll just put a little glue on there and on there, just to help it hold in place for a moment. And this should, in theory, push all the way through. There we go. It's tight, getting it over my hoses that are going through. But I got to flush up against there. That's the important part. There we go. So this is supposed to be silver across the top here, which makes me wonder, is it really going to be seen? The next thing we're supposed to do is put it into this. Of course, done my pre-painting of our chromate here like I'm supposed to. So let's put this in this, because this is now done up here. This is all finished. Okay. So, in the same direction as the picture, we're now going to flip this over like so. And let's try and line this up. So these tabs here are going to go on this tab and this tab. There's how I know I've got it lined up. And it's going to sit like that. Okay. So it sits like this. Clearly didn't have to paint all of this. So looking up here, this is what our bay is going to look like. Which makes me wonder, do I really need to paint that? If I got this plane upside down, and this is sitting going to sit something like this. So I don't see much of a reason to paint that silver, especially when none of the rest is. If this thing winds up being visible, then I'll paint that silver. But if it's not, then I don't see any need to do that. Okay, so yeah. Alright, flip her back over. What do I need to do first here? I've got to take F9 and I've got to put him in his home first. F9 is going to go right here. So let's see, let's find F9. F9. I'm glad that I painted him chromate. Glad that I pre-painted that. Because then I don't have to worry about it. He is just going to sit. This little pin goes right in there. I'm not sure what function this serves, but that's his home. No idea what that does, what it's for, but that's his home. Okay, so we can put this in now. He's going to go like that. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue in here and along here. It's kind of where it sits in its home. I am thankful that Tamiya pretty much has it all lined up so that there's no flex to worry about. I don't have to worry about it not really fitting. The wings have enough sturdiness to them that they're not flexing, so it's not like it's fighting to hold this. But I am going to have to tape it down. I want to tape it down on each side. As you can see, it's lifted up. So I want to tape it kind of like that. And then this side I'll do a little bit better. This, I don't want it right over that. And you'll see why in a minute. Okay, because I can pull this out like this, and I don't want it. See, I'm lifting that up, so I want to prevent that from lifting. I want it to stay down, right? So because I need it to stay down, I don't normally have to tape Tamiya parts like this, but in this case, I do. Okay. Alright, so now that I've done all that movement, I need to re-glue everything. And even with all that, it's still, my tape is not holding it properly. See that big gap there? Let's try a different way. My tape is not working, so let's get rid of the tape. The tape's not holding it anyway. Tape is not working. There's too many variables. Tape is not working. So I'm going to try a different way. Let's try clips. I'm going to try clips and see if the clips will hold. If the clips will hold, then I'll be happy. Clips are holding. All right. Now we're in. And I kind of understand now what my problem was. I was trying to glue, as you can see where the glue is, maybe you can't see because my saturation is too high. I've got a big line right here. This is where I had these two parts sitting on top of this to get it to line up, and that's not where they're supposed to go. They're supposed to sit down on the edge here, right? So that was the problem, and that's why I wasn't getting, it wasn't lining up the way it's supposed to. But now that I've got the clips on there and I've got these in there properly, now it's in its proper spot, so it's much happier and I'm much happier. So there we go. Okay, while this is setting up, what are we supposed to do? B15, I have this over here, B15. This one I did only paint one side because I saw that this is identical on both sides, so it's not going to matter which way it's facing. And also, it's actually back here. I thought this was going to be one of the walls. So, well, it really doesn't matter. B15 is just supposed to go down on top of these little nooks here. So it doesn't matter. This is just going to sit like this and do nothing else. So it doesn't really matter. There's a little notch here that's going to line up for there. So basically glue, 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 done. Right? Glue, 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 done. Just like that. Okay. So there you go, that's done. Easy enough. Now we got to drill out some holes. Got to drill out some holes for all the armaments, the bombs, the missiles. I was going to say missiles, but they didn't have missiles back then in the 40s. They had rockets, right? So you got to grab your pin vise and you got to drill some holes out. And what it looks like, we've got two magnets we've got to put in. Magnets there and there. Magnets are going to go in right here and right here. And that's obviously, they look like they're going to be the bigger magnets. So let's find those. Oh, I got them in here. I'll use this. Boink. There's the easiest way to grab them. Okay, if you're not sure, well, we've only got two sizes left. Really tiny ones and then big ones. And obviously it's going to be the big ones going in there. Okay, so let's take two of them. Do that. There we go. These two go back in the box. Okay. I'll try and keep these separate. There we go. Now obviously, magnet's got to be put in with CA glue. I just realized, you made a comment about the camera angle. Thank you very much. I missed it on my screen actually, so maybe I need to set that. I'm not sure if I've got my screen. I do. Maybe it was just too late. Okay. CA glue on here. Okay, that's enough. And I'm going to need a non-metal there we go. That one's done. A little bit of pressure to make sure it's down flush. There we go. Now of course this one's going to be pretty close to it, so I got to be careful. Okay. There we go. 2 magnets installed. Alright. That's that. Now, drilling holes. We've got to put 2mm holes here, here, and here. That's going to be there, there, and there. And then a bunch of 1mm holes back here on these. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, actually only 4, so not this one. Not this one. And same on this side. We're only doing this one, this one, this one. So we're not going to do a 2-minute, we're not going to do this hole. So I'm going to mark that. Okay. We want this hole, and this hole, and this hole, and this one, and this one. And there's another one that's right underneath my clip here, so I'll just put a little dot there. Going here, we want the hole here, we want that one. Same with this side. We're doing the hole here. We're doing this hole. We're doing that hole. And we're doing this hole. Again, it's just underneath my clip. And then we're doing 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're doing this one, and this one. So it's a little bit different. I don't know why we have these other holes, but we're not drilling them out. But that's okay. So this, I think, is going to be, it's a good size, but it might be a little too small. So let's see what other sizes I have in here. I only have one other size, and that's perfect for this. So I'm going to use that particular bit. Okay. So I should be able, this glue should be fine now. Okay, so we're doing our 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Again, now make sure you don't put your finger right through, right where you're going to drill. You want your finger beside it, right? Not too much pressure, just a little bit. You don't want to really go crazy. Just enough till you get through, right? Not really pressing that hard because I don't... It takes a lot of turns, so what? So be it. You don't need to put that much pressure. Okay, and then also this one here. If you're like me and you've seen me on a couple of other builds where I've forgotten to pre-drill the holes like this. Really all it does is it makes it so that when you're trying to line up your weapons pods underneath the wings, well, you don't get them exactly where they're supposed to go. That's really the only issue it creates. This one we've got 2 to do on this side here. Okay. So there we go. Now sometimes you're going to get some little burrs and stuff like that, so you can clean those up. I've found that you don't always have to clean up the burrs, but you want it nice and smooth and flush there so that when you go to put the pod in, the pod fits, right? You might wind up having to widen up the holes a little bit, but at least you have them there now. Even if they're not quite big enough, you don't want to make them too big. So you get them drilled out, you get them good and done, and that looks good, right? So now I've got my bigger ones. These guys are much bigger. They're like double the size. 1 millimeter compared to 2 millimeters. That would be double the size, at least in most countries. So I'll put this one away, and I'll grab my other pin vise because it's got the bigger bits. This one is for my tiny bits. This one has my bigger bits. Now this one I believe is gonna be, that's almost too big, but I think it might actually be perfect. This is actually just a drill bit, a real drill bit that I've shaved down to fit in here, but it happens to be the exact size. I could actually just put this in a drill. Maybe I should. It's a lot of material to take off right here. But I'm through. There we go. And yeah, that's perfect size. There we go. There's 2. Let's go to number 3. Go through. So there's our 3 holes there. So I got 3 more to go. If you're like me, your hand gets a little sore, well, you can either take a break or grab an actual drill. You definitely want to have a variable speed drill that you can lower the speed down. You don't want to go too fast with it, especially if you've got a bit that's not super sharp. You can wind up generating a bunch of heat by using a drill, and then generate a bunch of heat, and next thing you know, you're really just melting a hole through it rather than cutting. One more. And I'm actually, my hand is getting a little tired, so I'm going to switch. There we go. Alright, so we got our 6 bigger holes drilled now. Okay. Now, of course, you know, I can feel that the edges are raised just a little hair. You can always just take a little bit of sandpaper or something like that and kind of smooth them out. And there we go. That feels better just by doing that. This is just some, what is this, 4000 grit, just to help get rid of those burrs without getting rid of any detail. And then, of course, doing that, you're kind of filling them in a little bit. So you just go poke, poke, poke. There we go. There we go. Nice and smooth now. And I'll just make sure I've got the same going on over on this side. Nice. Okay. Pokey, pokey, pokey. There we go. Okay, done. Okay. What have we got going on over here? I missed a detail. MG3. So I'm supposed to put a magnet on the inside of F9, right inside here. I was supposed to put a magnet in there. I missed that detail. So it's not the end of the world though. I can, because I still can access it right in there. It's just going to be a little bit tricky. So MG3 is one of the smaller tiny magnets. That guy there. So I might be able to just do that and transfer him inside once I get a little dab of CA glue in there. Get some CA glue in there. And you see, I have my little glob that I've got on the top of this is a little too big. So there we go. Let's make it a little smaller. This is the kind of situation where I wish I had plastic tweezers, because the metal tweezers are going to be a little bit difficult to get the magnet in there, because my Q-tip that I've been using to hold them Okay, now I need something kind of pointy but plastic. This is why it's good to pay attention to the instructions. I think I got it. I think it just fell in exactly where I needed it. I've got nothing else that I can use. Maybe this. I don't know if that's exactly how it's supposed to be. I don't know what actually is going to be going in there, so how far down and in there that's supposed to be. But that's where it sits, and that's where it is right now, so yeah. So I actually get to see the top of my head now with my camera angle. Okay, so that's that. And I think that's going to be it for the wings, guys. Excuse me. Okay, so that's in there, that's going to stay, and that's how we're looking. That's what we got now. Now, I do have to point out, the way it's looking on the camera, that looks like I painted this in some kind of lime green, but you'll have to trust me, I haven't. This is the Mr. Color Yellow Chromate. Okay, that's what this is. And if you guys see this in the store, you're going to see it doesn't look like lime green, like almost the same as my top of my glue lid. It's not lime green. You just have to trust me on this, okay? It's yellow chromate. Okay, so that's it for this. Next is going to be guns. Guns, guns, guns. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this here for today, and we're going to do the guns next time. Okay, guys? I think we'll just leave this like this for today, and we'll do the guns next time. Okay? See, this camera portrays the yellow chromate much more accurately than this one here. Yeah, maybe it's the saturation levels, but yeah, if I put it at this angle so this camera sees me, you can see it is yellow chromate. It's not like lime green, in your face green. It's yellow chromate, guys. Yeah, it's yellow chromate. Trust me on that. Anyway, again, I want to thank you guys for watching, and thank you for the support. Thanks for coming out, guys. Next time we're going to get working on our guns, and so that'll be it. So we got the pods. I kind of have them pre-painted a little bit wherever I have them here. I do have them pre-painted here, so that's done. It's just the actual guns themselves. We'll have to put them together, we'll have to paint them, and that'll be fun. We'll do that next time though, okay? So, again guys, thanks for watching, thanks for coming out, thanks for the comments on the last video. That was awesome. It was really, that made my day. Thank you so much. And head on over to my Instagram if you want to see still shots of the stuff that I've done before. You can head over to my Twitch and you can watch me live, and you can leave comments too. Unlike Yuala, I commented earlier and I kind of missed it. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, do that. Check me out on my other platforms. The links are going to be all in the description box down below. And yeah, that's going to be it for today. And so, we'll see you all on the next one.